All right. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Welcome to the Thursday night. As Davo says in the comments, we are here to blab about slabs. Do not adjust your computer screens or your phone screens. Jeff does not look drastically different. Unfortunately, Jeff is not with us tonight. His son has like a Little League doubleheader, which seems insane to me. That's just a lot of Little League baseball. So we are joined by an Insta-famous good friend of mine, Short Print a Day on Instagram. If you can't guess, he posts a lot of short prints. His name is Jake, and Jake is one of the very, very few Yankee fans that I am actually friends with. I filter my friends pretty aggressively on this front. Jake managed to sneak through. So, Jake, welcome to Blabbin Bout Slabbin.
Says the guy who's posted like 3 Yankee cards in the last month, maybe?
Dude, it hurts me every time I do it. Every single time, I don't know. It kind of it catches in my throat a little bit.
Oh, no. Understood.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, here we go. Just to really, throw it on heavy.
God, I feel like it burns. It's burning my retinas to look at that logo. And I lived in New York for 10 years, and it's still...
which is the most unbelievable thing is I live in LA. I don't despise the Dodgers or the Angels, You don't
understand. I lived in New York during when they were winning a lot. So I had friends
you're just a hater. I think you're a defined hater.
Dude, it was the bandwagon people that broke me.
Okay.
It was the people that didn't watch a single game till October 3rd. And then it was we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. And they didn't know, they knew they just knew Derek Jeter and Tino Martinez. They didn't know anyone else on the team. Got people like that. It hurt me. It hurt me after a while.
All right. So genuinely through the first 20 games now, what do you think about the Yankees? In your honest opinion,
okay,
as much as you don't want them to win, do you think because I will give you I guarantee you my opinion differs than yours.
Probably. All right, hang on a second. We'll get to that question.
Okay.
I just want to say carddeal.com. I'm sorry, there's no Filmington tonight. Feel free to just move along if you want to. That's okay. Ben, what's up? How's it going? Homer Dome, how are you guys? A 4D cards at Astro sweep was very satisfying. Seeing Acuna finally let one go. Yeah,
absolute rocket.
Yeah. So I think that means his knee. If you watched the game before when he slid for that ball in the outfield and the ball hit his knee, I just about dropped down on the spot. My wife was ready with a defibrillator.
It's funny when you have a tangible financial interest in these players. It almost feels like you're the owner watching them, right? When I watch Judge run to first, I'm like, okay, don't accelerate too quickly. Okay, let's just take it easy.
Yeah, that's what Acuna slid, and then he was slow to get up, and he was kind of gingerly on his right knee, and I was just like, oh my God. Why are you diving or sliding for a ball terrifying. In April?
That's awful. I can't even imagine, especially knowing, but you know what? He's so young, and his body, is so resilient.
Yeah.
I'm talking about male bodies already.
Yeah, I wasn't sure where you were going to go with that. Anytime we talk about Acuna's body, I'm here for it all day.
Yes.
But amazingly, it was the next game actually. He hit his home run after the knee thing. So I think maybe, who knows? Maybe that the ball
did he short porch it at what's the name of the field in Houston?
Oh, in Houston. No, is there a short porch? Yes.
Yeah, on the left field is short. Yeah.
Because your dad hit a 340-foot home run in the first inning,
and it barely got out. I bet it's left field. They did it. They built it for Altuve.
Yeah, Shelly the Turtle. I actually said something similar when he hit a line drive to the gap that Kyle Tucker ran down. I thought his swing was really starting to come to life. I'm excited for this homestand. But anyway, all right. So let's get started. Let's talk about Yankees. So Jake posed the question. How do I feel about
it?
Yeah, it hurts. It hurts. How do I feel about the team?
Yeah. How do you feel? Yes, about okay. Give me your sorry.
Yeah, I do feel like they have slightly overachieved at this point. I don't expect Oswaldo Cabrera or Peraza. Yep. I don't know which. You have 2 Peraza.
Peraza's on the IL. Cabrera, yes, you're right.
I feel like the bottom of their lineup's overachieved a little bit. The bullpen is going to be great. The bullpen is good. A lot of guys throwing hard. But I think your season will still hinge on whether or not Garrett Cole can come back.
I actually have to agree with you there completely about. I think that the bottom of the lineup and Anthony is a shock out of Anthony Volpe. Everybody has such high hopes for him, but Oswaldo Cabrera hitting Jose Trevino, the catcher, the 9 spot. Like nobody expected. He basically kept the game alive versus, so they almost got swept in Toronto. And it was classic Yankee fashion, right? Where they don't hit. There was like 3 hits through 8 innings, like a very classic. And obviously we'll talk about this later. It pains me to say that Judge has just been 2016 promoted Judge, but somehow they are. I feel like there will be a slump coming, and like I don't like seeing all the social media posts about power rankings. They're the number 2 in the MLB power rankings. It's tough for me. I don't like seeing that.
Yeah, I think that's a little high.
It is. It's a very high. I would put them probably at 10 right now. I think I'd put them at 10.
I wanted to say who wrote it. Jamie Carrington, how's it going? Good to see you from Canada again. We recorded an episode of Spitballing Cards, the other YouTube channel that I'm a part of, on Monday, and one of my co-hosts, Filmington, talked about Volpe for about 5 minutes and how he was really digging into the numbers, and he liked some of the changes that he had seen, like in Volpe's fastball ability to hit, and like he's doing better with off speed. And from the moment we recorded, Volpe does not have a hit.
Yeah,
he struck out.
I think he went 0 for 8 in the last 2 games. Yeah.
So Filmington may have killed him, just so you know.
Yeah. Well, if maybe Chris looked at his card on eBay once, he just gave a preview of a card, and it's just the Chris curse just demolished.
Dude, this year especially, it's been insane. I actually, what Jake is referring to, I sent him an Ozzy Albies card that I've been looking for a long time, and popped up on eBay, and it's a little bit expensive. So I was like, I can't spend this much on an Albies card, but what do you think? We both talked about it. We both really like the card, and he got hit by a pitch like an hour later. He takes that ball to the toe, and the next day, X-rays, his toe was broken. So it's like they know.
Yeah, it is. They know. Royce Lewis is a stud. I love watching Royce Lewis play. I'm actually very bullish on the Twins. I think that they have a great lineup. It's sad that they lost Sonny Gray, but I think Royce Lewis, he went on the 10-day, maybe.
I think it's longer. I think it was longer. But they've already lost Royce Lewis and Carlos Correa.
I know. Correa. I was expecting the 10-day for him.
Yeah,
but Byron Buxton hasn't gotten hurt yet. That's like the biggest surprise of the MLB season. We're 20 games in, and Byron Buxton hasn't had a scare yet.
Yeah, that's amazing, and it's great. That's one positive to come out. And Pablo Lopez looks awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bob Roper's asking if I have not seen anything about Royce Lewis. I don't have him on a fantasy team, so I didn't get any updates. So I have no new information on Royce Lewis. One player I can tell you a brief update on is my boy Rafael Devers had an MRI on his knee. I swear, opening day comes. Okay, obviously, to use Jake's lingo, I'm bullish on Devers. Opposite field home run off Luis Castillo, double. He looks great. Then his shoulder hurts. He sits for 2 days. Then he sits for a few more days. Then he sits over the weekend. Then he comes back, homers again. He's feeling okay, and now we have this knee issue. But they did an MRI, and it turns out it's a bone bruise. So nothing's torn, but he's probably gonna. I would guess he sits the weekend, and then maybe he's gonna restart.
Did the Boston Red Sox pull the Yankee treatment where they say, he's just a little banged up for 10 days. And then they finally came out and said, oh, no, we did an MRI. They just lied to anybody who knows the Yankees.
Oh, yeah.
They're,
Yes, Aaron Boone is one of the biggest liars to the media of all the managers out there.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. But I did that. Tyler O'Neill got proper concussion protocol instead of what Anthony Rizzo got. But okay, back to the Yankees. I meander off topic all the time. So Jake is a big Aaron Judge fan. He has a really impressive Aaron Judge collection. So Jake, you've got some of those cards in front of you right now. Why don't you show us your 2 favorite Aaron Judge cards or Aaron Judge cards that you have?
Where to start? Obviously, anybody who follows me on Instagram knows that I heavily, I don't want to quite put it in the intimate range, but Aaron Judge, every time he comes up to bat, my heart starts pounding. It's that feeling.
I can confirm this. I watched I think the second game of the year with Jake, and he spent a good portion of it laying on the floor in some sort of stress ball position, and then he did the worm out of absolutely nowhere. So it was pretty entertaining.
It was a combination of chicken chunks and Jack Daniels, and I blame you for that.
I'm familiar with that combination specifically, but I have never done the work. Yeah, he melted out of the chair in like the 5th inning of the Yankees' 2nd game. I don't imagine what this guy's going to be like in September.
Dude, it's awful. It's awful. You can't watch games with me. I'm sorry. Back to the cards. So I have a lot of Aaron Judge projects, and I know that there are guys out there that like have his superfractors, they have, what have you. I think I collect the important cards for Aaron Judge. And important in a sense of cards that are low pop, rarely seen, as in even when he hits 62 home runs, they don't really come up for sale still, because people are these cards are genuine collectors. So a couple of projects that I've had in progress with Judge is one, his predominantly his run of flagship blacks. Now, obviously, I have to obviously thank Chris for this. Chris and Ephus Pitch, shout out to Bill, that, when I first got back into collecting, the flagship blacks were like, they put it heavily on my radar and made me understand just how difficult the grading is of them. And so I've spent the last 2 years or so putting together Judge's run of flagship blacks. So I have, starting with 2023, this one actually came back a 9. And if anybody has sent a black to PSA recently, you know that their default grade is a near mint 8. Standard. If the card looks good to you, it's an 8 for them. Shockingly, I bought this one off ComC. It had been listed, and ComC is tough. I'm going to give a piece of advice to everybody.
Oh, please.
We all see their listings on eBay, but if you go on the ComC website, the price is discounted significantly, and you can make offers. It's like a big hassle to you basically have to, and like, it's kind of genius in a sense, obviously, because as a seller on eBay, and I'm sure many people know this, that you get non-payers all the time. It's the most ridiculous thing, and there's really nothing you can do about it. With ComC, you have to put a deposit down, right, of however much money before you can put a bid in, before you can and I think it's really smart. It's annoying, but it works, and you avoid non-payers, right? So now we have 2021 near mint 8.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not one of those guys who needs every card in a gem mint 10. Like I appreciate the card in the set, and Chris is a set collector just like me.
That's something that I also say and then have a real hard time sometimes.
Let's just say this. If a 10 came off of any of these cards, I would salivate for sure.
Yeah. I mean, if I buy a raw card like a flagship black or an SSP and it comes back an 8 or 9, I'm really happy to have it. And I'm okay with the lower grade. But then when I see a 10 come up, I'm like, I'm not as okay as I thought I was.
Yeah, you get angry at that person. You're like, how did you get a 10?
Yeah. All right. Okay, so
then we got 2020.
Okay.
Again, I think another ComC purchase. Sorry, this is I'm being a bit of a boomer right now. I wish I had better lighting, but
there you go. That angle works.
Okay, lower angle. Near mint 8 in 2019. Love 2019 blacks. I'm sure.
Yeah, good design. A lot of color in that one.
Yeah, a lot of color. And this is arguably his best black. And I know the one card of Judge that Chris would potentially buy.
Yeah.
Is the 2018 Gold Cup Future Stars. I mean, this is as good as it gets.
That's a near perfect baseball card. Like the whole black background, the Future Star, and the Gold Cup. They didn't used to combine those two.
I know. It's, what the crazy thing, all right, a little bit off topic. The SSP set from 2018, the only Gold Cup was for Andrew Benintendi. Yeah. Somehow his SSP got a Gold Cup.
Yep. Yeah, they took it off everyone else.
Yeah. What is going? If anybody knows the answer to that question, if we have any insiders at Topps, please.
I don't know the answer to this. I can I'll look it up real quick. But does Benintendi, is his Gold Cup on his Chrome card? Because there's no Gold Cups in the Chrome set. They just
I don't even know what his base card looks like. I only know the SSP.
Yeah.
As anybody probably would.
So Canadian to the Hobby is saying, how did you get a 10? Which one of those blacks is a 10?
None of them.
No? Oh.
I only have like, I think the only black 10 I've ever received was this 2017 Garrett Cole black.
Oh yeah.
And
So the answer, Canadian to the hobby, the answer is he didn't get a 10.
I don't have a 10. There is all right. So this is one of my most important and favorite Judge cards. And this is probably one that shouldn't be in my house along with the other ones on my wall. But this is the mint 9 of his rookie black. And now there have been a few 10s that have surfaced. Actually, they all came up in like clusters, more or less.
Yeah, that was weird, right? Like 2 or 3 PSA 10s. I think the pop's pretty low, but I feel
it was like 3. It was 3 about 2 weeks apart for each. And each of them, like shockingly in the offseason, and everybody knows that collects card, like this offseason was like a down season. Like it always is, but it seemed like a lot lower than it usually is.
I will say about Judge too, as someone who doesn't really have, actually, I don't think I have any Judge cards, but looking at his flagship images,
I'll give you my PSA 6 black. How about that?
Looking at all his flagship images, like they're great. Topps did they treat Aaron Judge really well, except for that rookie image. God damn that rookie card.
I know you hate that one, don't
you? That
you?
drives me insane. Like here's a guy who is known for like prodigious power. Like he's a giant monster who crushes balls. And his flagship rookie
he does what, Chris?
Yeah, you heard me. And his flagship rookie is him making a catch in the outfield. I assume he made a catch in the outfield. Hopefully they didn't Michael Harris him and that ball clanked off his glove and over the fence.
I tend to agree with you there. His rookie image, like I think everybody agrees that his update image of him batting is just a very classical, the foreground is blurred out. Shout out to Pat Homerdome, who taught me that foreground. That's what it means. Like that's he's like, and like it's just an awesome image of him, just like getting ready. But I think everybody wanted those images.
Yes. Yeah, the same thing with like Ohtani in update in 2018.
This is what we're referring to. This is the bad.
Yes. Yeah, Ohtani's like US1 at update. It's in pitching, just like his 700 is. And then is hitting. Like if they had
swap those, like his flagship was in pitching.
Yeah, I just want to say a quick shout out. Amari Smith, thank you for looking that up. The Benintendi home card does not have there are no gold cups in Chrome. M. Parsons, you're
M. Parsons, you are right. As soon as I swear to God, as soon as any news comes out about a hurt player, I message Chris and I tell him, do not even look at Aaron Judge cards.
But yeah, M. Parsons is right. If Jake gives me an Aaron Judge card, you can go ahead and he'll be paralyzed by the end of the week.
He's another one a little bit up, like Bucks. People expect him to be injured pretty frequently and often.
It's been 4 out of 7 seasons, so like there is some history there. Honestly, with center field, like one of my major concerns is that he just gets worn down.
Yeah, he hasn't really honestly. The pitching has been great for the Yankees, so he hasn't had to do anything. There's been not many center field shots. He hasn't made we had Harrison Bader in center last year, and Harrison Bader would sacrifice his body for anything. But Judge has not really had to do anything at all. I've watched pretty much every at bat of every game so far. So that's a good sign. Obviously, it's a long season. We know.
I did think it was funny. I've been lobbying. Well, not lobbying. I guess I've known to lobby, but I've been saying into the void that the Yankees should just put Grisham in center field because he'll catch everything. Don't worry. And who cares if he hits?
Yeah.
And then, of course, they did that for one game, and I think he hit into like 3 double plays.
Yeah, literally.
Like basically up my phone with anger.
I was almost about to call Chris, and I was like, "This is your fault. You said something about Grisham, and now look what happened."
Yeah, I definitely have a gift. All right, so Jake, as an Aaron Judge collector,
all right,
if I wanted to get into the Aaron Judge market and ruin his career, where should I go? Where would you recommend? What's a card that you? Hey, Lucky Peter, how's it going?
In my humble opinion, the very best Aaron Judge card there is, the very best, is this card right here.
Oh yeah. So that and you want to tell everyone what that card is?
So this is the 2017 Aaron Judge bat under shoulder or in dugout, depending on which grader you have, SSP. This card is a Pop 11. It's been a Pop 11 for maybe 2 years now. It's just a fantastic, and look, I'll admit I'm a little bit of a sucker for dugout photos. I love dugout photos. I love candid photos. Yep. I hate non-involvement baseball photos. I hate celebration postseason photos. as Chris knows and my friends on here know.
I thought you're okay if they win the World Series, but you don't want to see a division series celebration photo.
But honestly, I don't want to see a divisional or a championship series. Like, I don't want to see any of that. I don't want to see a wild, don't show me you wearing your shirt and popping champagne bottles. As Kobe once said, job's not finished. Okay. It frustrates me so that like Judge's 2023 SSP Golden Mirror was him, like all the Yankees more or less, and like Garrett Cole, like it's all them celebrating with champagne, and it's a dumb like half-ass photo, really. Like it's like, you could put some more creativity into this tops. Like these players have so many cool images and shots.
That's fair. I appreciate a strong opinion on SSP photos, so I get it. Yeah. I will say that I think the season's long, so I like to see my guys celebrating anything that they can. So, like, for example, Spencer Strider, RIP, his 2024 Golden Mirror is him popping champagne after they clinched the division. And that
was like his first celebratory, you know what I mean? Like that's second. Okay, never mind. Sorry.
But yeah, it's cool, but it's still cool. I like to see them happy. I like to see them celebrating. Yeah. I do get it though. There is something about like wearing like an LCS t-shirt.
Yeah.
That to me, maybe.
Yeah.
This is how far we got. Like it doesn't, I don't know. That one might not be great. So I do understand, but I feel like when it's all said and done, 20 years from now, if you're still going back and trying to pick up some of the cards of guys you like that you missed, I think you'll look back fondly on
of course. And like, obviously this is why we collect SSPs, right? This is why we collect variations, is because we'll look back 10 years from now and we'll love these cards still.
Yes.
Because they're unique.
Go ahead. So
there's a great question from David S.
Yes.
Which I literally, before I go to bed at night, I think about every day. Is Judge a Hall of Famer? It hurts him that he started at age 25. Yankees should have called him up sooner. You and me both, Dave. I mean, look, nobody knows. He's set a lot of records. He's done great things with the time he's been given. Obviously, had he been healthy, he probably would have been at 350, 375 home runs. And I was actually having this conversation with a couple of buddies today. Is 500 home runs a lock for the Hall of Fame, right? Is it these days?
Yeah. In a clean world, yes.
In a clean world, it is, right?
500 home runs and no positive tests, yes.
Yeah. And this came up in the context of Giancarlo Stanton, another interesting Yankee who, he's been off to a really hot start. But obviously, I collect Aaron Judge, and I believe in Aaron Judge, and I do think ultimately he has a good shot at the Hall of Fame. And I think if he can play an average of 120 games over the next 6 seasons, I think there's a good shot.
Yes. I mean, okay. First of all, that statement has 2 massive qualifiers in it that just about make my head explode. So yeah, will he make the Hall of Fame? I don't know. I just don't know if he's being treated if his body is being treated in a way that will allow him to play in the games that you want him to play and that we all want to see him play in. I just don't know. But I think, however, for his card values, I don't think he has to make the Hall of Fame.
Right. I think so. I think you're right.
He's an icon in New York.
Yeah.
Even if he plays 60 games for the next 10 years. Like I think he's still. I mean, Mattingly's cards they still sell really, really well.
Yeah, his PSA 10, his 84 PSA 10 pushes 5K,
Yeah, Aaron Judge has had 2 absolutely massive seasons. And another episode of Spitball, and I compared him to Roger Maris, and I got attacked.
I get that one.
In the comments, I'm pretty sure it was you and 6 of your burner accounts ripping me apart in the comments. And I'm like, I mean.
Well, no, I wasn't me. You had a lot of very valid points that I understood.
Now, I Homer Dome. Judge is no Harold Baines. That's the point. Harold Baines, obviously, the great all-time Hall of Famer.
So, all right. So, Chris, I want to hear if you're buying an Aaron Judge card, if you're getting it in the market.
I did think about it in this offseason. I really did, because he's probably the best player in baseball that I have 0 cards of. So I thought it would be an interesting time. With, like you said, the cards are down. Where I would start, and I know we've talked about this before, I would go right with the 2013 Bowman Chrome Auto. And I'm going to just show everyone what this card is. It's his first Bowman Chrome Auto, but it does not say first on it. So it can be a little bit deceiving when you see it. For some reason in 2013, Topps just forgot to put first on any of the cards. Why? I don't know. But what they did do is, so Chris Bryant's 2013 first doesn't have a first, but his 2014 prospect auto does have a first. That's a whole separate thing. No one should be buying Chris Bryant cards anyway, so that doesn't matter. But I think this is Aaron Judge's best card. Jake throws the word important around.
Yeah.
And this is Aaron Judge's, I think, again, my opinion versus Jake's most important card. So I would start here. I don't have this. The asking price on this is $18,000. I don't have $18,000. I think it's a little bit high anyway. Like Mookie's just sold for 12. So Aaron Judge can't sell for more than Mookie. Or I'm sorry, he can, but he should not sell for more than Mookie.
No, he should not. And I will completely agree with you there. Again, it's New York. New York does something to players, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody knows that. Like, the thing, and Chris and I have obviously had this conversation before. I actually remember, Chris, I think maybe 4 months ago, you had a buddy who had this, I think this exact card, or maybe it was a PSA 9, but he was asking $11,000 for it. And now what's the ask on this?
The ask is 18 on eBay.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's just an ask.
Right. It's just an ask. So there are a couple of things that stand out to me with the Bowman first and why Flagship is better. One, this is a player who, honestly, this may be his first at bat in low A. How many Bowman Chrome first cards are there of? There are it's like the New York Public Library. There are millions of Bowman first Chrome cards of these players. I think 95% of them don't succeed, right?
Oh yeah.
And what's important to me is that when you have a Flagship rookie card, it establishes that this player has made a name for himself. He's done something. Whereas, I could go buy 100 first Bowman Chrome rookie cards of Aaron Judge back in 2013, right? And they would just now, or of any player, regardless, they turn into mostly paperweights.
That's true, but I could say I could show you the stack of Stadium Club rookie autos that I've pulled, and I would say it's pretty much the same thing.
Stadium Club. Let's be fair. I get okay. I totally understand where you're coming from. Every rookie gets, but the amount printed is significant because this is their first card. So many are printed. They're printed in Bowman first, Bowman Chrome, right? Bowman draft, Bowman, whatever. How many different Bowman products? I just think also, because this may be Aaron Judge's, maybe photoshopped. He might still be at San Jose State, right?
That is true. That's the one. I hear that a lot of people talk about Bowman first. A lot of the images, a lot, 95% of them are photoshopped. They're college, sometimes they're travel ball shots with Photoshop jerseys.
It's I also compared to this. Look, I have a Little League card from 1996. If I become famous, and I know Zuckerberg sold a Little League, whatever. If I become famous, is that my best card?
Well,
it supposedly is my first card. Is it my best card?
Well, interestingly, Freddie Freeman actually has Aflac cards from when he was playing travel ball as a high schooler.
Well, and he was anyway, sorry, go on.
Well, yeah, and he signed some, and those are on eBay. And so technically that is his first auto. I think he's got some Upper Deck autos that same year because Upper Deck did the 16 and under team or something.
Well, sports for kids. I mean, there's the SI for kids too, right? There's the cutout. Yeah, it's so funny. I remember reading those magazines, dude, and flipping to those pages and looking for those new prospects, whatever, those kids. And Tiger Woods' card sells for a lot, but still, I don't think anybody would ever take that any more seriously than his Tiger Woods' 2001 Upper Deck, whatever.
No, but there's a big difference between Sports Illustrated for Kids and Bowman Chrome. I mean,
why?
Because Bowman Chrome is a universally respected brand, and Sports Illustrated for Kids is a magazine for dentists.
So you say, but I think the whole position of Bowman first Chrome, it's his very first card, and they put the first on there. But your argument towards me is that his Flagship rookie is not his first card, right? Sure. So if he has a card in Sports Illustrated for Kids, that's his first card.
But it's his first. That would technically be you know me. I'm not interested in any non-licensed. So I would give me his first licensed card. So if Topps puts out a magazine and it's in there, then we could have that conversation.
But spitball and he's spitting facts.
Yeah. I mean, the whole the whole first Bowman Chrome versus rookie card is a debate. Like you and I have had it drunk many, many times.
Yes.
And we thought we'd try it sober once. And, hey, we're still friends. So that's good.
Yeah. You know what? And like prices do reflect in your favor. I will give you that. I have a really cool Topps Chrome rookie, Aaron Judge. If that same card had a Bowman first on it, it'd probably be twice as much. And like, that's just the market. But I think, collectors, and obviously we've had this conversation a million times, want a tangible card. I want to see Judge in the dugout, his rookie year, in the hole. Like that's a great aspect to me. I don't, so.
I get that. I get it. Image-wise, that rookie SSP is probably his best image. I love that card too. I love the kind of waiting your turn. Like I love on deck circle shots.
Yeah.
Like, especially if they got weighted donuts. Like I love that stuff with like stands behind him. So the Judge shot is great. By far that image is better than his first Bowman Chrome. But it's just when I grew up collecting, and I'm sure you were the same way. I wanted the first card. Like the 93 Jeter isn't. Right. He hasn't made his debut. The 91 Chipper Jones hasn't missed. So. Nothing's really changed in that regard, but I just wanted to hold on. But there was some talk about in the comments about Judge and the Hall of Fame. And
Judge scares me because of his availability.
Yeah,
he's the best bat in the league when healthy.
Yeah,
you might eat those words right now, but Juan Soto is be the best bat in the league when healthy.
Shelly the Turtle, Bowman Chrome says Bowman Chrome's his first official card. On top of that, the first official auto. I mean, I get it. Listen, when I got into Freeman, when I first came back into cards after Jeff dragged me kicking and screaming.
Dragged you.
I went after the first thing I did. I looked up Freddie Freeman's like Topps rookie cards. I'm like, okay, that's the image. And I looked around there. I got some parallels. I went to Chrome and I found Finest, and I fell in love with that Finest set. It took me a while to realize what prospect cards were. And at first I was like, oh, well, he was a kid. I don't need that 2009 auto. And then like a year later, I'm like, oh my God, yes, I need that. That is his first. Yeah, that's his first real auto. So
I agree. Look, I agree with it. It's kind of a necessity of any PC player, right? Like, I would love that Bowman. Like, that would be a great card to own. Would I display it over his flagship SSP? I would not.
I will say while we're talking about Judge cards, I did say that rookie SSP is one of his best images. I actually think the best non-stadium club Aaron Judge, because some of his stadium club cards are absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, they're
fantastic. I think his best flagship image is this guy. Let me make sure I'm pulling up the right one here. Yeah, and it just came out. I want to know your thoughts on this card, which is his 2024. Where is it? Right there. His 2024 Golden Mirror.
Oof. I have a lot of feelings on this card.
I know you don't like celebrations, but I was told by
I don't like postseason celebrations.
Yeah. Okay.
This is an impactful card for me because I was watching this game. In fact, I got a little drunk maybe a few weeks back and rewatched it on MLB Network. That's always fun. I would hope everybody who's watching this right now occasionally has a few too many drinks and is like, wow, I'm going to go back and watch this person's 3 home run game. It was important because he'd come off an injury, and he comes like saddles blazing, right? Like just coming in hot. I think Topps did a really poor job with framing this photo, though. I think it kind of, by putting so many people in it, it kind of takes away from his celebratory hat tip. But this was a 3 home run game. And it was just like he had come off the toe injury, and like it was like for all us Yankee fans, we were like, there's hope in this world again.
Oh yeah.
So what do you think about it, Chris?
I think it's awesome. I love this card. I do. You wanted them maybe to go closer in on Judge, so we see him. I would almost pull out further.
Right.
I want to see the fans reacting.
I think so too. I think so. If they did it like face on and they showed, all right, so you know how this card right here, like, you know this card very well.
I do. My wife actually, hold on a second. I'm going to stop sharing. I do know that card. I posted that on Instagram when I had it, and my wife said, hey, that looks like Freddie Freeman waving goodbye to the Atlanta fans at the end of the season.
That's heartbreaking.
A bunch of laughing emojis.
And Parsons, you are a tough cookie.
Yeah.
But had they done this like from this angle, right, the opposite side, basically when Judge, you know what I mean? Like that would be a significantly better shot. So I think it's a great card.
I like it. I like it a lot. I might grab it. That might be the first Aaron Judge card.
I have two now. So I will actually gift you
No, don't. You're I especially from you, Jake. You don't.
No, I'm not. I'm not gonna do it.
No, you don't want that. Like,
I know.
Just me owning the card is bad for him, and you don't want to be laying in bed at night thinking what would have happened if you hadn't given me the card. How many career home runs, would Aaron Judge have?
Every day I go to bed and I say, well, he needs 38 more to hit 300. That's this, that. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, so hold on. I want to get to the comments real quick.
Yeah,
Jorge is saying, comparing it, there's a great Manny Machado Stadium Club card from this year where he is just homered and he is just flipping his bat like into next week. That's fantastic. I really wish
really well.
Yeah, I wish there were autos of that. Like, man, I wish Stadium Club would get some more like star autos and less focus on guys like Jonah Bride that seem to find their way out of packs and into my hands.
Is that who you pulled from your 2023 rip?
Yep,
it's funny.
637th round pick, 27-year-old player,
born in 1986.
Yeah, seriously, right? But yeah, that Manny Machado card is great. And someone had said, we had talked about, you and I really enjoy it when Topps does SSP themes, like 2018, hand stuff sounds a little bit questionable, but I forget who it was. There was a few comments ago, said they would love to see a bat flip SSP theme. And so did I. That would be incredible.
It makes me feel some type of way, honestly.
Yeah, because they did some stuff this year.
It's like you can find the themes. It's like in these past years, you can see like 2017 is like something in dugout on bat or on deck rather. But you can find there's always they just stopped. And there's something that drives us set collectors that love a consistent theme like that.
Yeah, when you put them all together, I know Jake is 2 cards away from the 2018 flagship SSP set. And when he puts them all together, you can see it's all guys with their hands up or doing something with their hands. And they look incredible together. But they did that a little bit this year. I feel like they got kind of back to it. There's celebration. There's celebration cards this year. There's some. I know there are some with portrait shots this year, including Freddie Freeman's, which is I think the worst card in the entire set. That card really pisses me off. Then there's player gala cards, like Acuna holding up his silencer necklace, and Zach Allen, who looks like someone's nephew that went out and smoked weed on Thanksgiving.
What's your favorite Freddie variation?
Oh, easy.
The catching chrome?
No. Well, this is his best. This is his best image variation image. I have the jumbo right in front of me here. So,
do you have the regular one?
Yes.
PSA 10?
No, I've only seen 2 ever come up. So I bought the first one. I think Zinc on Instagram has the other one that I've seen. They both have a gnarly back corner, so it's not gradable. I think there's one PSA 9, but this image is just really badass. It's him at the home run derby in 2018, I think.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's one of it. I love it. Oh god! But yeah, obviously the 2022 Chrome SP where he's holding the World Series trophy is pretty.
Yeah, good. I mean that Ultra SP you have too is. That's. I mean that's. Gosh, I want to know that. When the Yankees last 09, I was a sophomore, I don't know, senior and freshman in college. I don't know, but I was young, right? I couldn't take it all in. I didn't I wasn't in the state of my life where baseball is the only thing I look forward to every day, and I just can't imagine in 2021 when that team came together and so many young stars. It's just man.
Yeah, it was a special, very, very happy time. And yeah, that card is perfect. Do I have that card around? Let me see if I can find it. But yeah, I should have actually, that's obviously my favorite card. I mean, it's not often that at a moment your favorite player on your favorite team catches the last out of the World Series and Topps puts that image on a baseball card. I mean,
yeah,
pretty special.
It is special. That whole theme is that's the thing that we love about short prints, right? Yeah. That theme of the World Series celebration theme, that is one that gets there's 5 cards, right? There's LB's, Acuna, Freddie, Soler, and Dansby. But that's important to me.
Yeah, I don't know why they stopped doing that.
Put effort and they cared about the thing.
Yes. Yeah. Right. Yeah, I mean, if the Yankees win the World Series and they bring that back, they really should bring that back. That's a great idea. Yeah. I saw there's a Jorge's card just saying they weren't in Series 1. Maybe we'll get Rangers in Series 2. I don't know. We didn't get Astros last year, but
The problem is that when they I don't know if they're staffing up. There's 330 cards in each set, right?
Yeah.
Series 1 has 330. Series 2 has 330. Update has 330. That's 990, right? 990 variations that they have to produce. So they have to somehow be unique for 990 cards, and that's impossible. Nobody can do that. And granted, some of the cards are fantastic. Some of the cards have great images.
Yep.
And I think that a lot of people ask me, actually, what are your thoughts on the golden mirrors? And it's I just don't they can do the golden mirror, they can do the golden back and put the golden tops logo, but just limit it to the top 25 people in batting average and top 10 pitchers. You know what I mean? Which they've always done.
Yeah, I don't mind. I really don't mind the full set. It's fine. I feel like if they're going to do it though, they have to do it. Yeah. I've just tried to find it on eBay really quick, and unfortunately I couldn't find it. But last year, poor Paul Blackburn, I think we've talked about it before. His Gold Mirror SSP is just him sitting on his phone in the locker room.
Yeah.
It's just outrageous. If you're going to make the card. Put some effort into it, make the card, but don't just throw some random. May as well use his driver's license picture.
Right, literally. And so, Chris obviously knows this. Judge and Freddie have something in common very heavily. And Chris and I refer to these as BNT and ANT, before new teeth and after new teeth. So yeah. Freddie's in a lot of the photos really exemplify Freddie's teeth. There's always Freddie's. Yeah, exactly. Precisely. 100%. And Judge's teeth. I don't have it. Do I have?
Hold on. This is the ultimate Freddie Freeman.
Oh gosh. And so his 2024 Golden Mirror, that's an awesome card. I love that card. I remember when you bought that card, you were like, I had too much to drink and I bought it. I said, you're never going to regret it.
No, you were 100% right. And when it arrived, I was so happy.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. I know. Whoops. Let's
talk a little bit about Chris and the Freddie collection. Let's talk about your set collecting goals. Did you freeze up on me, Chris?
No, I'm still here. You mentioned this card, so I'm going to pull it up.
Oh, just a big old mouth of shiners, hey?
Terrible. Really, this is bad.
He looks like a beaver.
Yeah, he really does. It's such a disappointment. He had his 2000th career hit last year, and he stood on second base in Dodger Stadium, got a standing ovation, tipped his helmet. He and Mookie had a big hug afterwards.
Yeah.
And this is the card that he looks like a child.
Yeah.
He looks like a dad who just put in his grandfather's dentures. It's terrible. I don't like this card.
So what do we think about the 2024 Devers?
I love it. That's a card I really like. Yeah.
It's a similar shot, and Devers he doesn't look the best, you know.
What
looks like a shout out to Megan, the Ninja Turtle.
Yes. See, Devers what I like because it shows some personality. That's just Freeman doing nothing, right?
Smiling.
Yeah. But this gonna work. Hold on. Give me a second. I'll pull up the Devers. All right, then we're gonna talk about Soto in a second. But let me just pull up this Devers card because Jake mentioned it. Is it this one? Yes. There we go.
He literally looks like Raphael.
He does a little bit. But here, look how someone just told what I assume was a filthy joke in the Red Sox clubhouse, and he's just laughing his ass off.
Yes. It's a great photo if he didn't look like a Ninja Turtle.
Well, plus another thing I love about it is clearly the game is either over or it hasn't started, and he is geared up. Gloves are on. He's loading his bat up with pine tar. He is ready to go.
I put it on the positive side of cards. Yeah. I think it's a candid. It's a great candid shot. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So in the offseason, probably maybe the biggest move outside of the Dodgers, Soto gets traded to the Yankees.
Yeah.
Now, you're a Yankee fan. Before the trade, PSA would call that legs opened. Yes, Jorge, that is probably probably what Amari Smith. You really think it was Chelsea Freeman made him get the teeth? I mean, honestly, you're probably right.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, so we'll see. Wait, has stated what you do a bunch of golden mirror you have. Yeah, Wyatt Allen makes a kind of a nice compliment for Stadium Club, saying that the golden mirror image variations are essentially Stadium Club base cards.
So somebody also commented on Giancarlo's contract, and basically the Yankees franchise will die with Giancarlo Stanton. That's how long his contract is.
I have a question before we get to Soto. I don't want to keep putting Soto off because he's important and we want to talk about him.
Yeah.
In about, let's say 6 weeks, in a month to 6 weeks, maybe less, Jason Dominguez will be activated. We'll be ready to come back and play baseball. Now, when that happens,
Verdugo.
Who goes? Verdugo?
Verdugo sacrificed because Jason Dominguez switch hitter. And I like Verdugo. I've actually, every time he's played the Yankees, I know he's been quick, like sneaky, very fast. He's been a contact bat, which he's tried to be this year. He's done great things. He's made the dugout, the camaraderie tremendous, which has been a really big upside for the Yankees. But Jason Dominguez is special. And it's pretty hilarious. And like I was actually, funny enough, we were at the Burbank Card Show, I think, when Jason Dominguez made his debut.
Yes.
And I was driving back home. So Chris and I live maybe, 5-6 miles away from each other. He lives on the side of the hill, whatever. But we typically go to shows in the greater LA area together. And we were at this show and I was like, I got to get home. I got to watch Jason Dominguez's debut. So I was driving home in LA. There's traffic everywhere. So I had my phone on my dash like this, basically, which was so dangerous. It was the most dangerous thing you could possibly do. But I was like, this is Jason Dominguez. This is like once in a lifetime opportunity. Justin Verlander's pitching. I'm like, he's going to be 3 and done. Honestly, I was like, Justin Verlander, but the way the Yankees were going, he was going to strike on the side. First pitch, first swing, nuke to left field. And I was like, this guy is fucking special. Yeah. He is special. And he just.
So I was still at the show when that happened. And Jeff and I, my co-host, normal co-host, Jeff and I were still at, no offense, Jake, we're still at the show. And we were up on one of the sidewalls when Dominguez homered, and a guy was watching it on his phone right there, and we saw it.
Yeah,
and we're like, "Oh man, like that's incredible!" And then he was like, "Oh, who's got the Bowman first autos here? Like the prices just went up by 20%."
Yeah,
and it was almost like kind of like a zombie movie, if you will, or some infectious disease movie. Because
really,
you could see the information that he had hit that home run just travel across the room.
That's crazy.
And the murmur, like pick up, and hit the other side, and all of a sudden everyone was just like. It got loud. Like it was legitimately loud in there for like 5 minutes, and then it slowly died back down again. But that was exciting. My prediction was always going to be that Stanton would get released when Dominguez gets called up. Because at some point they just have to admit, I mean, they may have to go over Cashman's head to do it, because I think his ego won't let them just walk away from that money. But so far, Stanton's been okay enough.
Yeah.
Like, goddamn, those videos of him running, they make my knees hurt. Just watching.
It's brutal. He's a big guy, though. Imagine me running. Like, I'm a big guy. Imagine me, like, sprinting through the, But, like,
I'm trying, Jake. I can't do it.
Like, you can't physically imagine. Yeah, literally, you can't actually imagine.
The images aren't coming to me. Like, I can't make it happen. But all right.
I don't know what he did this offseason, but he is, like, he's batting 260. Like, that's so refreshing for us Yankee fans.
Yep.
And if anybody is watching this, it's a Yankee fan, like, he struggled to bat 205 last year.
Yeah.
And this is where the question was brought up about the Hall of Fame, was that, he's at 407 home runs. I think he's got, the argument is if you have 2,000 hits and 400 home runs, like, you're likely to get in. Stanton is a little bit off the radar, I think, in this sense, where he's not like a Todd Helton, where he's beloved by the Colorado Rockies. You know what I mean? Things like that. So I think he's going to have to do a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think 500 is far from a lock. I've heard people say, well, when he gets there, but I mean, there's no guarantee. I know he's signed for enough years to theoretically do it, but he's got to put him out.
How old is Giancarlo Stanton, guess?
I think he's older than Judge, so I'm going to say he's like 33, 34.
You're 33. He's 33 years old. So theoretically, as a DH, he's got 7 years left in him if he stays healthy.
Jeez. I mean, Freeman's 2 years older than him, and Freeman can steal bases. Freeman can run.
How many home runs does Freeman have?
His career?
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to look it up.
He's got a lot.
Yeah, it's right around 300, I think. Maybe a little bit fewer. Maybe we're just over.
In my opinion, Freeman's a lock. Like, I don't know why Freeman's a lock for the Hall of Fame for me personally. Like, that's how I view.
Yeah. 35. Thank you. Yeah, he has to just do a little bit more. You just got to keep compiling. Just keep racking up hits, racking up runs, racking up RBIs. Just keep staying on the field. So yeah, Amari Smith makes a good point. Like watching Pujols run over the last 4 or 5 years, you felt bad for the guy because the shortstops were playing like 7, 8, 10 feet in the outfield grass, knowing that if they can just knock a ball down, they can throw them out.
If anybody's ever seen the movie Heavyweights, that's what I picture.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, Freeman has 322. He should coast by 400.
Yeah. He absolutely.
As a Freeman fan like me, I'm thinking 400 homers and 3,000 hits amongst a lot of runs scored.
Yeah.
Which is a stat I really, really like, and I feel like it's kind of underappreciated. But if you look at the leaders in runs scored, you're going to look at like
he's undeniably great. Like even this season, he's batting like 320 already. Like. Yeah, he's off to like all of the stars have been off to a slow start. I'm sure everybody's noticed that. Like they were off to Acuna just did his first run last game. He's batting 250.
I didn't notice that.
Harper's batting 205. I mean, he had that 300 game. Judge, but like Mookie and Freddie are just absolutely raking. And it's
more Mookie. Freeman's not doing as well as you think he is. His average just dipped under 300. He's scuffling. He's fighting it a little bit. Right now, it's the Mookie and Ohtani show, but I'm sure Freeman usually is a slow starter. Jorge's Cards reminds us that, yes, we do hate Earl Webb, or at least we all know who Earl Webb is, and that's because of Freeman and because of this show and our fantastic researchers we have watching. Okay, so you're a Yankee fan. Juan Soto is traded to the Yankees. You are immediately erect, and I assume stay that way.
I try and sell my kidneys for any piece of Juan Soto.
Right. Okay, so you want to get into the Juan Soto game, and you did. Where did you go? Well, what cards did you buy? You didn't have any Soto before the trade.
No, I had a couple of low-end Nationals, a couple of variations, cool cards. I actually pulled a pretty cool Soto. When Wander Franco got indicted, top 2022 Topps Chrome hobby jumbos went down to like $180, and I was like, screw it, I'll buy one. And I pulled a pretty cool Juan Soto auto. So I sold all of those as soon as he got signed by the Yankees, rather traded. I was like, okay, there's 2 places I go. And any smart collector, and we're not talking about the Bowman first world, but any smart collector goes to 2 places, right? They go to their SSP, rookie SSP, or they go to their best rookie parallel. And his best rookie parallel is this. In 2018, was the very best year for blacks.
Yep.
And Chris and Jeff have harped on this previously. I mean, this is just the most beautiful card.
Yeah, that card is fantastic. I will say that for 2018, there's an argument to be made that his Independence Day.
Yes.
Those 2 cards are kind of like hand in hand. I would take the black because it's a longer parallel's been in existence for longer. Right. But the Independence Day is also gorgeous, especially with guys like Ohtani and Acuna and Soto, whose jerseys are a lot of blue, white, and red. Yeah. So
there's a lot of right. There's a lot of contrast. It's great. Yeah. Completely agree. Every time I'm searching eBay and I see a 2018 Indy, I'm like, wow. Like those colors are crazy. They look beautiful. Yep. So I know, Chris, that you acquired a pretty cool Soto card recently.
We did. So we'll get to what I have, but I want to.
Okay.
So you went Flagship Black.
Flagship Black because so it's numbered to 67. Flagship Black has been around since 2002. 3. Okay, you're off.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
There's the most legacy, and like these are the things that I look at in terms of when I'm buying cards and like what I want to invest in. Like I look at, what has the most legacy, right? So black, parallel blacks, besides the golds, right? Who've been around since 2000 or 1999? I don't know, a few years earlier.
1992 with the first Flagship golds, they had a foil stamp over the name and the team.
No shit.
But they started to be numbered, like you're talking about, in I want to say 2001 or 2002.
Okay. All right. So right around the time of Flagship Blacks. Yeah. Right. And everybody knows, anybody who's ever bought a Flagship Black knows that they're the most condition sensitive cards that you can ever find.
Yep.
And basically your only chance at jamming a flagship black is if you pull it yourself. And if you get lucky enough when you pull it that it's crisp, the corners are crisp, there's zero white, like it's impossible.
Yeah.
So it's actually a little shot. I think the Soto and a PSA 10 black's like a pop 4.
Yeah.
Which is shocking to me, especially because 2018 was it was a little bit thinner card stock. And it was a lot more condition sensitive. Obviously you guys know Chris and Jeff have a Shohei Ohtani 2018 PSA black, which is like one of the greatest cards. Like in my opinion, Soto's just like that card. I can't believe a 10 exists of that card. And they're like, let alone there's like 3 or 4. And so that was like my decision making of like where I'm going to dip my toe in the Soto market.
Yeah. I think that's so what I would do if you're looking at rookie cards and I assume you were, based on what I know you like. So yeah, you look at the flagship black, the Independence Day, or the SSP. And the SSP is a really cool horizontal Gatorade bat shot, which is one of those cards like you really have to see it in person to it's like it's a beautiful shot. Like there are just droplets of Gatorade everywhere. Like it's a really cool looking card.
Best image for sure.
Yeah, really, really cool card. However, the one negative about it is it's not crazy rare. The rumored numbers I see on Blowout for the update SP and SS, the SSPs are about 300. That's like sort of the number that people are rolling with. I think it's based on some pack odds and some loose assumptions. But there are over 70 PSA 10s of the Gatorade Bat Soto.
Which is more than the print run of the entire print run of the black.
Yeah.
And that was my ultimate decision making, because I was exactly what you're saying is like that was where I was like, do I want the SSP Gatorade Bath or do I want the black, right? And that was my decision maker after talking with you and Jeff, like when, we were discussing it, it was like, well, this is a big realization, obviously.
Yeah, the same thing, like Acuna is kind of similar. Like he has that the 2 update SSPs. So,
right.
But the pops are about the same. They're over 70 PSA 10s, and that vertical shot is absolutely, it's gorgeous.
It's the best SSP. In my opinion, that SSP ranks number 1. That white jersey at bat is the best SSP in my opinion.
Yes.
I even put it over Judge. I'm sorry, as a Judge lover, but
I'm not going to argue that. I remember when I told you Jeff and I sold our copy to help fund a Bowman Chrome Auto. Yeah, basically the look on his face, I thought he was going to punch me right in the face.
I almost collapsed. I was like, oh. It was heartbreaking.
Yeah. All right, real quick. Nunzi, that's a fantastic pull. Oh my God. And a J-Rod. Dude, we may have to invite Nunzi 83 over to rip some packs because this dude seems like he's got pretty good golden touch. But yeah, so personally, again, with Soto.
You said he pulled it. Okay, sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Feel free to catch up.
I'm new to this.
I know it's a lot. Like I'm listening to you, I'm reading the comments,
I know Jeff isn't here Jeff is a great delegator. Anyways.
Jeff
the amount of work Chris is doing right now.
I mean, it's not that much. I'm just not capable of doing a lot. So it's more difficult than it should be.
Okay, back to cards, though.
So yeah, Soto. Well, one thing about Soto, I know you like his rookie cards, but like he has not a lot of them.
Right.
Which makes them even more appealing for someone. Now, obviously, if you have some extra cash, I really do think I'll pull up what it looks like. His Bowman First Auto. It's probably the card that you want to go get. I know Jake doesn't want to hear this.
Again, if you want to make $50 in 10 years.
By the way, that sound was very clearly Jake's whiskey bottle opener.
As soon as I hear Bowman First, I
right to the bottle. Yeah, now so Soto is actually he's pretty interesting in his world of Bowman First. I'm just gonna pull it up so we can talk about this card, Jake, and why you're not the only person who strongly dislikes this one.
Yeah, I think this card generally in the community, he looks like he's sneezing and he's 15.
He is extremely young.
And
he looks like he weighs, like Jake just said, sneezing 15 and weighs about 145 pounds.
Yeah. So
there's not a ton of eye appeal here. The demand, the excitement for this card is strictly because this is his first card. And the value gets pumped for 2 extra reasons. The parallel, the rainbow is not that deep. It gets deeper for Acuna in 17, 16. It's not that deep. There aren't waves or shimmers. It's pretty straightforward.
Do you know how many maybe you don't off the top of your head, how many parallels of the Bowman Chrome first of this card there are? Because I know with Judge, there's like a black wave, there's a black, green wave, like there's 10 to 12.
We should look this up so we can give our viewers that information. But I will tell you, I know there's a base, there's a refractor, there's the blue, the green, the orange, the gold, the red. I don't know if there's anything outside of that.
Yeah.
So and Soto does not have a non-auto in the set.
Really?
So all his first Bowmans are autos. So there's less of them. So this card is pretty cool. I mean, the image isn't great, and obviously the oversized, he looks like a little league player with wearing his dad's helmet.
It's crazy that this is the same person and like granted, this is a weird shot that Topps decided to use for this photo. Like again, they probably thought, hey, this is another Dominican 16-year-old, like it's probably getting lost in the ruffle. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like that's typically so. Like, all right, we'll make the Bowman, whatever image we can find of him.
Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming this image. I haven't seen actually. Someone on Instagram I think pulled up the original image. Like he's obviously not wearing a Nationals jersey and helmet. Like that was photoshopped on. Yeah. But still, this is it. This is the first. And then he has a bunch of prospect cards between this and his rookies. I think here, Jake, you and I completely agree. We don't recommend you guys buy those cards.
Yeah, like the Purgatory cards. Jason has a lot of them. Sorry to my religious people for saying that, but
that's okay.
But yes, I completely nobody knows what those cards are, what they mean, what they're, you know what I mean? Like again, completely avoid those. I think they're basically pieces of paper with an image of your favorite player on them.
Yeah, I mean, it is interesting that we as collectors, like if you kind of just look at it in terms of a timeline, his first card is this one, and we love it. And then like for his next like 4 or 5 cards, no one cares about.
Yeah,
like they're all Bowman Chrome. I'm guessing Jake's dog just attacked his computer. Pretty funny. And then we get to 2018, 2 years later. It's probably like his 5th series of cards, and we want them again. So it's hard to describe to a sort of a non-collector why that is.
Yeah.
We want the stamp that says first, we want the stamp that says RC. And anything in between those two, we really don't have interest in.
No. It's tough. And like again, we're just talking about Jason Dominguez has a ton of cards between, I think what was his 2019 was his Bowman first, but he's got, they have some really cool inserts in Bowman Chrome though. He came from outer space, like some really cool looking cards. It's just
there's just too many of them.
If you want to spend your money wisely, don't do it on those.
Right. Hold on a second. Sawyer, how you doing tonight, buddy?
Pretty cards. Sorry, this is my first time. I dropped my computer fell off my little stand. Bear with me.
There was a message in the comments referencing a card, so I'm trying to pull up an image of it. So again, if you're a Soto shopper, we've narrowed it down a couple of things.
2019 Stadium Clippers.
If you're looking rookie cards, if you want Flagship, probably Black or Independence Day. The Bowman Chrome first is a special card.
Showing his 99 jersey.
But another option. Jake,
yes.
Let's briefly discuss Juan Soto's best non-rookie card.
Ooh, we've talked about this a lot. We have. Oh man. He's got all right. It's I think the consensus always has to be his 2020 Stadium Club.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And this card is very special. Someone in the comments said they really hope that Topps doesn't print a bunch of Soto shuffle cards. And I 100% agree. This is an image we don't want them to beat into the ground.
Yeah.
And this is pretty iconic. This is Soto in the World Series against the Astros. And it's just, this card is special. There are autos. The autos are tough. I think there's probably around 100, maybe 120 total autos of this card across. It goes up to gold, so there's 50 golds, but I don't think there's very many base autos.
There's no reds or orange.
There's gold, orange, red.
Okay.
And then it's
can you imagine a red of this card with the color match? This is another point I want to bring up. We'll bring that up later.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, what was I going to say? A Big Hermes, BIGERMIS 33 on Instagram. I think he's got 3 or 4 of the reds, of the 5 reds. And they look fantastic. So this is, I think, his most iconic card. And I do feel like this card will stand the test of time. Even as my wife pointed out, if the Top stops making the set, the standalone Stadium Club Chrome, I think this card is special. If you ever see an auto, this, by the way, I have an auto of this, and I think it's the one card maybe in my collection that Jake wants the most.
Yeah, I do.
I don't bring it out when Jake's around because I'm afraid,
He's got that whole shelf behind him. You see that? I'm just trying to figure out a way to have like the Sticky Bandits. Home Alone reference.
Yeah, I thought that's a fantastic.
Especially, you know what? Another one is like if you find a blaster box of 2020 Stadium Club Chrome, buy it. If you find an X Factor of this card, I think that hands down is the best parallel.
Yes, I agree. And those are pretty hard to find. Like, it's a big set. The checklist is big.
And they're like the blaster boxes have a huge resale price because of those X Factors. Because everybody wants even the Bryce Harper image, like the Bryce Harper Chrome. I think I have one actually right here. But that in an X Factor, even the Ohtani in an X Factor. I mean, there's a reason why Chris, Jeff, and I got together and ripped a bunch of boxes. I mean, they're just the hands down, like, it's the best set Stadium Club Chrome has ever produced. I'm trying to find the Harper.
Okay. Well, while you're looking, hold on. Alvin Holman has a good point. There's also, excuse me. Sorry, the whiskey is starting to percolate. In 2020, there are two really great bat drop SPs for Soto. One is in Topps Chrome. After he homered against the Astros and ran with the bat to first base, kind of in response to
Bowman. Yes.
So Topps Chrome has one that's not rare. The base you could buy for under $100. There are some parallels that are really cool, but Opening Day has one as well, and it's a closer, tighter shot of Soto. Let me actually pull that up.
Chris, you have one, right?
I do have one actually. Yeah.
And it's crazy how much rarer and more sought after that Opening Day. It's incredible. I mean, like, between the Chrome and that card, it's one of his best. Besides,
the Opening Day is definitely it's tighter cropped. He's just dropping the bat, so the timing is just perfect. Hold on. I think I have too many windows open.
When you're doing that, I'm going to talk David S.
Yes, go ahead.
Topps Heritage 2024 first Yankees auto card in the running for Soto's top non-rookie cards.
There's got to be an asterisk there because he's got to stay for that card to matter.
And I'm hoping Cashman is smart and offers him a blank check. But
oh boy,
I will personally say I don't think so. I don't. I think that it feels like the Breakers world kind of gravitates towards that my first Yankee card, which would be a really cool card to pull. Imagine if you're a 15-year-old kid opening. And my favorite thing about Heritage is it's affordable. It's $50 a box.
Yep.
And you can get some of your favorite players. But it's impossible to pull those hits. And I just think he did that. Topps was like, hey, maybe write a little something, get people to buy this. And that frustrates me a little bit. I think it's a really cool card if you can pull it. But granted, I think that somebody doing a 40 case break is going to pull it and try and sell it for $1 million. So I'm going to say no on that one.
So it's interesting. So Jake, as a Yankee fan and now a Juan Soto collector, are you interested in just a regular Heritage auto, maybe a red ink?
Yes, of course.
Yankee uniform?
Well, I'm interested. I love the dugout shot of his red ink Heritage rookie. Like, I think everybody loves that.
All right, hold on. I want to get to the comments. Zuckerman 182 made me laugh. You're right. A lot of our episodes, we start talking about literally anything, but it will eventually get funneled through the lens of 2020 Stadium Club Chrome.
Yeah.
And actually, damn it, I did bring it up this time. I was going to try to blame Jake, but this was definitely me. So David S says there's no way Soto leaves. Here's what I will tell you. I don't know if he'll sign an extension while he's there.
But his agent is Scott Boras. Okay. Yeah. He's
Steve
the
Cohen,
guy all of MLB.
Yeah. Boras is going to bring Steve Cohen and Brian Cashman into a room together and just sit there like an auctioneer
and jerk off. Frankly, he's going to sit there and watch them salivate over him.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to get a lot of money from one of those two New York teams.
And he deserves it, frankly. Yeah. I mean, he deserves to be paid. But from what he's doing right now.
But yeah, I mean, we're looking at those are just there's the two obviously the biggest payrolls. The teams with the Dodgers aren't going to be interested because they have enough. But
nobody wants to go play for the fucking Mets, dude. It's Queens. Queens sucks.
And honestly, like their first attempt last season did not go well. But Steve Cohen is sitting there furious.
Yeah,
how it all went down. They do have some young talent. I mean, he's going to try. If Soto is not locked up before November 1st or whatever the maybe it's like December 1st.
I think it's August 30th.
It's going to be a bidding war of epic proportions. It's going to be very fun to watch. As a fan of a team that will have no part in it, it'll be kind of fun to watch it play out.
Even Pete Alonso, I guarantee you, Pete Alonso does not stay with the Mets. Like Francisco Lindor will be their last legacy tenant. More or less. Yeah,
I see some people talking about Pete Alonso. Here's what I think. Pete Alonso, I actually like him. I'm a Braves fan, but I think he's entertaining. I like him. I've heard people complain that he gets into the home run derby, and so that makes him like a loser, and they don't like him. It's great. The guy really enjoys playing baseball, and we're supposed to not like that. I think he's great. His Polar Bear SSP at a 2020 Topps.
That's great.
Fantastic. Yeah. That's an amazing card, and I think. Jake, correct me if I'm wrong. I think the Gold Cup is on it, right?
Yes. Yep.
That's just fantastic. They kept the Gold Cup on a card that doesn't even show a baseball player.
I think even his opening day, 2020, has it's a Gold Cup too. It's fantastic.
Yeah. So I like him. I do think he gets traded before the season's over because the Mets aren't built to win this year. But I think there's a very good chance that he just comes back. The fan base really, really likes him. It really responds to him. I think he fits in well there. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's traded, they get something young for him, and then they just sign him back. Yeah. I think Steve Cohen could drop $1 billion this offseason, this coming offseason, very, very easily.
Yeah.
And if he, re-signs Alonso, signs Soto, and Lindor remembers how to play baseball, that team could be interesting next year.
He seems to be on the upward path, at least,
So, 40 cards. What contender would take Alonso at the deadline? We're a little bit off the Soto path here. We'll get back to Soto in a second. But this is a good question. What contender would be interested in Pete Alonso? Off the top of my head, Houston's first baseman is absolute garbage.
Yeah.
They're paying him a lot of money, but if you can't hit,
here's the thing: Anthony Rizzo has a team option for next year. I obviously think everything in Yankees context.
Sure.
So Anthony Rizzo has a team option, and he's put up 6 or 7 errors already. Like more errors than he put up for the last 2 years. So that is initially what comes to mind. But you're entirely right with Houston because the short porch on the left side would be perfect for Pete Alonso.
Dude, how many home runs would he hit in that ballpark? Or I know the Red Sox don't need a first baseman.
Like the home runs I've seen him hit this year, he's made like off the end of the bat contact, and he still hit them out.
He absolutely destroyed a ball off of. I was at the Braves game, a couple Braves Mets games. He homered off Tyler Matzik, and he destroyed the ball. And it was right after I explained about Tyler Matzik's great moment for the Braves to a buddy of mine who didn't know about it. Anyway, neither here nor there. So he would be a nice fit for the Red Sox as a DH because they already have a good first baseman.
Yeah.
I could see him in Fenway having a great time. Seattle would be an interesting trade destination if Seattle can stay in it because they have no one besides Julio Rodriguez. Mitch Garver hasn't hit much yet.
Yeah.
So he would definitely work there. Although he'll hate that ballpark. He'll hate it. It just destroys right now. So I would say that there are definitely some teams that would be interested in Pete Alonso. And probably ones we're not. I just came up with 2 right off the top of my head. There will be more.
If we had 9 hours to talk about this, Vladdy's contract is up after next year. He's a great first baseman, but he's a good. He's got a lot of flexibility.
I don't know what to say about Vladimir Guerrero anymore. Like, I'm out. I'm not buying any more bad cards. I'm out.
You need to be loyal. You need to be loyal, Chris. You have purchased many of his cards. You believed in him to begin with. I believe in him now. He is trying to hit a fucking 500-foot home run every single time he's up at bat.
I find myself saying the same thing. Like, this is the 3rd year I've been saying it. He's hitting the ball really, really hard. It's just he's hitting too many ground balls. He just needs to work on getting the ball in the air, and then he's going to be a superstar. Well, he hasn't done it, and God help us, his ground ball rate has gone up this year, not down. I know it's early, anything can happen, but I'm out. Anyway, all right, back to Soto.
We're rambling. We're rambling about slabbing.
Yes. So anyway, back to Juan Soto. Man, I I have heard people say he's going to want an Ohtani contract. He's not going to get an Ohtani contract, but $500 million seems, God, doable at his age, right?
Isn't that what the Nationals turned down?
He turned down like 450 with the Nationals, which I get because the Nationals, he didn't want to be Trout. He didn't want to rot with a terrible roster around him, which I totally understand.
So I'm going to make sure my dog isn't. Hold on. Give me
Yeah. Go ahead and check on your dog. While Jake is gone, I did want to ask people in the comments how they feel about Juan Soto's Topps Chrome update cards. And if you are interested, if that's something you're going after, do you want the autos that are a sticker, or do you want the refractors that don't have the sticker on? Oh God, Jake is beating his dog mercilessly. Hopefully not. So Jake has 2 beagles, and one of them does like to chew up slabs, which I know has been a sort of a point of great frustration for Jake. Alvin, you have not missed Craig Kimbrell Hall of Fame talk. Please don't trigger me. I can go off into a rant there. I just don't see it. He doesn't belong there. I'm sorry. Soto to the Blue Jays. Jamie, it's interesting. Like, the Blue Jays obviously have some money to spend, right? They were willing to pony up like 600+ mil for Ohtani. So certainly they could afford to go after Soto, but I think they've got to figure out the Bichette Guerrero situation first. And what are they going to do with both of those 2 guys? And why the hell aren't those 2 guys better? Like, what? That team is so frustrating. Alek Manoah has just dashed so many hopes and dreams up north. It's a terrible shame. Weirdo who collects Sotos. Huh. Oh, Andrew Applebaum, you're the guy. Interesting.
Right. Sorry, he's gated now.
Okay. All right. I don't want him chewing up any more of your slabs, Jake. So, Jake, I want your opinion.
Okay.
You're going to buy, if you were going to buy a Topps Chrome update Soto card, a refractor. Okay. Let's say you like the X-Fractor. You want the X-Fractor with the sticker auto, or do you want the X-Fractor without the sticker auto?
Without, 100%.
I agree. I think they just look cleaner. They look nicer.
So clean. X-Fractor is arguably, for me, the best parallel Topps has ever made. And I mean, it's like a huge legacy parallel. They've done a lot of different things. The X-Fractor it's basically what Panini, what Upper Deck, they've all stemmed off this X-Fractor. I think the X-Fractor is one of the best parallels in all of baseball. I'd love to hear people's opinions on what they think. But now they numbered it in Chrome Update. I even before Chris and I jumped on this call, we were talking, and he was speaking about my dog, this fucking crazy beagle. Sorry, pardon my language. I bought a 2018 Justin Verlander Chrome X-Fractor for like $2.50 just because I thought it was really cool. All of a sudden, I look to my right and he's got it in his mouth. And he's gone. And I was like, all right, well, say goodbye to that. Yeah. But that's the things I do, though. Like I buy like random X-Fractors from random years because they look so cool.
Yeah, the X-Fractor, when I was first getting back into cards, I grabbed the X-Fractors. Looked amazing. Someone in the comments, Alvin says Atomics, and Atomics are great.
Atomics.
They're especially great from like 2012 to 2014 when they were in Topps Chrome and numbered at a 10. But I think they're in finest in like 2013, I think 13 and 14. There's X-Fractors and Topps finest numbered to 5.
Chris, would you agree that 2011 to about 2014 was the golden era of Chrome?
Yeah.
I think that's maybe like we had Atomic. Like Atomic to 10 was it really. So there's a Garrett Cole, and maybe we'll talk about Garrett Cole later. We've obviously been talking a lot, but
I shouldn't ever talk about Garrett Cole again because I did it for a month and look what happened.
Yeah, so I'm a really big Garrett Cole collector, and I think some of that rubbed off on Chris. I mean, Chris is a smart guy. He knows a good pitcher when he sees him.
Appreciate that, Jake.
So I think Garrett Cole is on truly a great path.
Yeah, he was the one Yankee I actually rooted for last year. I like him. I liked him. He's a bulldog. He took them out. He just went out there and he pitched and played hard. I liked everything about him. And then Jeff and I bought some of his cards because we liked him and we thought he's undervalued with the sort of what he's done. And this is what happens. I talked about him too much. And I know he didn't get Tommy John surgery. They're expecting him back in the second half. I hope he comes back.
It feels like I don't want to say this, obviously. It's hurts me to say this, but it feels a little inevitable if you have elbow inflammation or elbow strain. It's clearly the tendons are weakened a little bit. I feel like that's typically what happens.
Yeah, the Strider thing concerns me a little bit because he didn't get Tommy John. He had that in college, and this time he just got that brace procedure that I know Otani got as well. So I don't know. I mean, the good news is that they say he'll be back early next year instead of missing all of next year, which is great.
That's incredible.
I want him back as soon as possible, but I am concerned that it won't be enough. Yeah. That they just put a Band-Aid, like a temporary Band-Aid on this situation instead of really dealing with it. He's so young. Like,
I know.
And the idea of getting 2 Tommy John surgeries before you turn 26 is terrifying. But yeah, we can talk about Garrett Cole.
Shane McClanahan, right? Like Shane McClanahan is also very young.
Yep.
And he had TJ, but I think that he's obviously no Spencer Strider. Spencer Strider isn't. I couldn't believe the first time I looked up Spencer Strider. I couldn't believe he was like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
No, there's no pitcher that good that is that young. It's insane.
Yeah. Yep. And I talked about it with Filmington a lot, that like with his lower body situation, he's really limiting the stress on his elbow. But I guess, when your average fastball is sitting like 98 miles an hour, your elbow just can't handle it. And that is a shame. That is a shame.
Let's talk cards for the folks.
Back to cards. So the other Yankee that my good friend Jake here likes to collect is Garrett Cole. He's got a really good Garrett Cole collection. And Garrett Cole has some really nice, again, Jake went rookie card.
Yeah.
Right. And Garrett Cole has some really interesting cards. He's got one of our favorite things. Do you have his Chrome SSP nearby?
I sure do.
Oh. You all know I love this set. Jeff and I love this set. 2013 Topps Chrome SSP. We got a Garrett Cole image variation.
They have 2 10s of this, by the way.
Well, yeah,
and,
it was more impressive.
Every time I talk to Chris, whether it be on the phone or over Instagram, I say, "Hey, what are we thinking about that PSA 10?" Obviously, mine's a 9, but these cards they never come up for sale.
No, print run maybe 25 to 30.
Insane. Yeah. Like, and when they do come up for sale, they're gone. This one I bought was an SGC 9.5, but we all know SGC gives basically everything. With a slight imperfection on it, they give it a 9.5. So I cracked it. I sent it to PSA, and I knew it was going to get a 9. When I was completely happy with though, because this is, in my opinion, Garrett Cole's just. Yeah. I mean, this is as good as it gets.
Yeah, I think that's his best non-Bowman first Chrome auto.
Chris, you have a good story about this one.
Oh, this is actually kind of funny. Yeah. So there was a seller on eBay who may or may not have been Jake, who was selling this card, this Garrett Cole, his 2013 update SSP, black jersey. It's just a really cool card. Like Machado has one in that set as well, and they're really, really hard to find. Like PSA Pops 10 and under, really, really rare. So this guy had one. It seemed like his price was decent. We sent him an offer. We went back and forth for like 48 hours on offers. And Jeff and I liked the card, but we didn't want to. We were being a little cheap about it. I'm not going to lie. Eventually, the guy accepts our offer. We pay, and then 24 hours doesn't ship, 48 hours doesn't ship, 72 hours doesn't ship. And then he sends, Jeff's like, "Hey man, like just checking in. I had a chance to ship the card." And the guy's like, "I can't find it." Like, what do you mean you can't? Like, in the time we spent negotiating, you didn't bother to see if you still have it? So he's like, "Give me another 24 hours to see if I can find it." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" But fine. So 24 hours goes by. He writes us, "Sorry guys, I can't find the card." Oh. Now, our theory at the time was he knew exactly where that card was, but because spring training and Garrett Cole's prices were actually on the rise, we thought that he had a change of heart. So he canceled the sale, refunded our money. And miraculously, about 2, maybe 3 days later, guess what popped up on eBay? He was reselling the same card. And about 24 hours after he relisted the card for a higher price, Garrett Cole went down with injury. So I really, while I was upset that Cole got hurt, it was sort of satisfying to see that guy really just yeah.
But it was, his listing to begin with was hilarious because it was like, "Sorry guys," it literally in the listing title said Garrett Cole SSP, and then it was like, "Didn't see your offers earlier. Sorry, send again." Like in the listing title. I've never once in my life seen anything like that.
Never seen that before. All right, so I want to there's some comments here. I had asked you which Soto update you were interested in. If you prefer auto, sticker auto, or
extraction
auto. Wyatt Allen appears to disagree. I think he wants those sticker autos. And personally,
Yeah.
I don't like it. It doesn't work for me.
Sticker autos, I'll put them on my fridge for rainy day.
Right. Kevin Morales, Jeff did not get fired and replaced. His son has a Little League doubleheader tonight. And I think he's actually also picking up his in-laws at the airport. So his Thursday night tonight just completely out of control. Luckily, Jake here was able to fill in.
I also want to give a shout out to Elvin here. Yep. He's a great Dodger fan. He loves Dodger SSPs. And he's a great guy to talk to and work with. So
okay. All right. Also, Alvin mentioned that Braves legend Johnny Venters had 3 Tommy John surgeries, but I don't believe he came back particularly well from the third one. I mean, sometimes we just assume like these guys are just going to come back. Like Shane McClanahan was an incredible pitcher, had Tommy John, and we're all just like, well, he'll come back, next April and be just as good as he was. But like, we don't know that, and it's scary. The whole Strider thing scares the hell out of me.
It's crazy, but I feel like when you have a new UCL, you're good. It's like a new hip, and maybe you'll experience this soon, Chris.
Yeah, probably. Let's be realistic. I mean, it's going to happen.
I'm just kidding. But either way, you have a new hip. It has a useful life of like 8 years, right? You have a new UCL. I feel like it has a useful. It's like a new. It's not like these days. I feel like it's not like I have faith in those coming back from Tommy John. Justin Verlander won the effing Cy Young.
Yeah, I will say that honestly, Jake, if I do need a new hip, I look forward to it because if I actually have 8 good, like if I'm useful for those 8 years, as you said, that'll be the first useful 8 years of my life. So that'll be great. I look forward to that. That should be wonderful. So again, I want to get back into Soto here. Shay F says he thinks for Soto, due to the price and print run, he would take the sticker if it's all you can get. Well, I mean, I think the non-autos are cheaper. And so to me, that makes it even more interesting. And they're also, for the X Factor, it's a lower print run. Yeah. The X Factor is numbered to 99. The auto's numbered to 125. And I just think the X Factor looks better without that damn sticker on it.
Yeah.
And now, Jake, if you wanted a Juan Soto rookie auto, where are you going?
Juan Soto rookie. Everybody knows the Heritage Red Ink is it reigns superior, and one just got popped up. Send it to Chris immediately. Like if he, me, Jeff, and maybe a bank could pull our money, I think we'd get it. It's a PSA 10, but it's the best looking. I mean, it's an iconic looking card. It does Heritage so well. Heritage loves to continue with the theme of classical looking baseball shots. And like everybody knows, his Heritage rookie card is him in the dugout, sitting with the bat by his shoulder.
Yep.
Right. It's his best. It's such a good image. Great.
It's a good shot. It's an incredible hitter holding his hitting tool. I don't want it to sound dirty. Holding his tool and thinking about, and really just thinking about what he's doing. And it's great. And I really like Heritage Red Inks. I've talked to our good buddy Ethos Pitch and some other people about this. The Chrome rookie auto thing is getting completely out of hand. Like I've talked about all the Michael Harris gold refractor rookies. Michael Harris has an absolute avalanche of rookie autos as well, and Chromes to beat the band, as my father would say. I don't know what that expression means, but it means a lot. But I'm not really sure where it came from. Who's beating band members? I don't know. But like Bowman Chrome rookie autos, Topps Chrome rookie autos, Topps Chrome Cosmic. We have all these different Chrome sets: Topps Chrome Black, Topps Chrome Gilded, Sapphire. The Heritage Red Ink autos, I think, will begin to stand out more and more as time goes by. And I think if I'm getting a rookie auto of any player moving forward, I think that's the one I'm going for. Not the Topps Chrome Gold. I think I'm looking at a Heritage Red Ink. What do you think about that, Jake?
Always. I mean, it's something about Heritage cards, the stock of the card. And this is like important to me. Like different years have different types of stock. Heritage always has a consistent, like good feel. And like anybody who's opened packs in the early 90s or mid 90s knows the way a card feels makes it like, this sounds intimate, but it's true. We have an intimate relationship with cards. So the way that Heritage feels, it's a great pack to open. And the Soto Red Ink is, to me, doesn't get any better. I mean, that's like the best for me. I love the image. I love the stock of the card. I love the hand numbered on the front. Like in 2023, they got rid of the hand numbering, and I'm sure they had like a petition that was sent to them. So want to shout out Jorge's cards. Just to ask real quick.
Yes, I want your opinion on that. I was going to attack that question in a second, but yeah, I just want to reiterate the Reddings. They do jump off the card. That red really jumps off the card.
You can see the pen imprint on them too, which is like it makes you feel a little bit closer to the player,
a little more connected. I agree, which is why I hate sticker autos and why you hate sticker autos and why. Anyway, but I will say there's a lot of player collectors out there going for a run of red ink autos. Like Mike Trout has one. He's got like 12 of them. Yeah. And our friend Mike at Cardboard Showcase.
Yeah, insane. Cardboard Showcase. It's just
go check out his account, Cardboard Showcase. He's got the whole run of Mike Trout red ink autos, and they look.
As soon as they're released, he has the card too. It's insane.
They look spectacular together. I've been considering doing the same thing with Freddie Freeman's, but I just refuse to pay. I refuse to pay the price for them. I just think Freeman has too many autos, even though I did just say that the red inks will be the ones that stand out. All right, so we got a question, an either or coming in hard from Jorge's cards. Jake, Juan Soto, are you going to take Topps Chrome? Wait a second. All right.
Topps Chrome Refractor.
Yep, thank you. Yeah. His first Bowman, we're going to say first Bowman auto, or a Topps Dynasty RPA.
What am I mean, you can't, like, a Topps Chrome Refract, like, the Dynasty has a legacy in itself. I know that Dynasty has been, like, completely watered down in that there's so many of them, but, like, maybe I'm not sure if this was the question you intended to ask, because a refractor of Topps Chrome or first Bowman, the Dynasty RPA is like, I mean, that's a fantastic rookie card.
It is.
I think I'm taking. What about you, Chris?
I'm taking the first Bowman Chrome. I'll always go there. I know. The Dynasty is cool, and I know my good friend and fellow spitballer Teapot loves himself some Dynasty cards. I want the first one. I just want the first auto, and that's it. I mean, call me what you need to call me, but it is what it is. A couple comments I want to get to here. Alvin says the Yamamoto Chrome auto will be the end of me. Yamamoto is he'll be one of those really interesting rookies like Yuri Perez, because he doesn't have Bowman first autos. So his Chrome autos are going to be, the rookie autos are going to be even more special. So I'm excited for those two, and I do hope he signs a couple in the Kanji. I think that's going to look great. We got a question here if we know if Gypsy Queen is coming back. I have not heard anything about Gypsy Queen or Stadium Club Chrome for the 2023 sets, so I don't know. And I've asked everyone I can ask that will respond to my asks.
This is a great question, Chris. If you want to get more comments, I'll go on.
Okay, hold on. Jorge's card said he's doing the Machado red ink run, and the rookie is top. He's in Cole's rookie year, right? So that's out of 10. Is that right?
Yeah, they're supposedly numbered out of 10 if it's 2013.
Yep.
But Cole's are different. It was a redemption. So, but I don't know. I've never seen a Machado red ink from 2013. So, gosh, that would be incredible.
I've only seen one, and a Machado collector, I think, has maybe one or two on Instagram. If you want to check that out, just see what it looks like.
That's a run I'd love.
Yeah. The battery is concerned you might be oversharing about how cards feel to you. But I think that's what we're here for. We're here for honesty. Listen, we're grown men, and we can be honest about our feelings. It's totally fine. Kevin, hold on. Kevin Blackhurst, how you doing, man? Kevin is a fantastic Instagram Pirates account, Blue Hen 2121. Is that right, Jake? I think. Okay. Check that out. He's got a full run. I think he might be missing one of Heritage Red Ink Pirate cards, and a really good.
Wait. I think Kevin might be the guy. Did we buy?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, Kevin. I bought the 2018 SSP Kutch, Andrew McCutchen, and it was in tag 9. And I asked you why you graded with tag, and I was like perplexed. And I sent it to all my friends. I sent the grading report to all my friends, and I was astonished. It was crazy how much detail I went into.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, I cracked it, and I sent it into PSA, and it got a 10.
Boom. Yeah, good job, Jake.
Sorry, Kevin, but thank you for the deal. I appreciate it, because that was one I was after. It hasn't surfaced. It probably won't surface for a while.
Yes, Kevin was a huge help to Jake and I, who both were trying to complete SSP sets, and Andrew McCutchen is in both. And thankfully, we found, I mean this in a very complimentary way, a fellow lunatic who hoards the stuff that he likes. Like, I hoard Freddie Freeman cards, and he hoards Andrew McCutchen cards. And he had an extra Andrew McCutchen that I needed and an extra Andrew McCutchen that Jake needed.
Yeah.
And it all just came together in a very nice.
He also had a Garrett Cole rookie Redding, but he's not partying with that because he puts those run togethers. But I asked him, so Kevin, if you ever find yourself in need of cash, you know where to find me.
Yeah, but also, Kevin, if you wake up tomorrow and your tires are slashed, that's Jake trying to force you. Doug Campbell, how's it going, man? Good to hear from you. Thanks for joining us. What the hell are we just talking about? You had a question, Jake, that you wanted to. I think.
Not me.
No?
I forget. It was a really good question. I think Chris and I could actually talk cards, and when we get together, we often spend 8 hours literally just talking about cards.
And eating chicken chunks.
Yeah, and eating chicken. But I'm sorry for the folk here. I have no other life besides cards and my wife and my dogs. So
thank God you mentioned them.
So either way, if I'm boring everybody, I'm sorry, but like I think that the majority, like I sort of felt when I first got into my collecting journey, I followed Chris really, really, and then I followed Ephus, but Eric Mallet is like the short print king. Like Eric is the reason why I started like really heavily focusing. Like he's the guy. If you want to see short prints, if you want to see crazy cards you've never seen before, like that's the guy. But those three guys, like Chris, Eric, Ephus, Bill, those are the three. And like I can talk to those guys for hours on end. So this is what I'm doing like right now. I feel like I'm just
this is great. By the way, that had kind of an Oscar acceptance speech sort of feel to it right there.
Well, I'm honored. Like it's kind of like crazy thinking like this collection behind me, right? That's as a kid. If I saw this collection behind me of these cards, I would salivate. Even in fact, in 2020, I think I went to a card shop and I saw a BGS 8 Jerry Rice rookie card, and I was like, oh. And now it's like, man, how far things have come. Anyways.
Right. Yeah. For those of you wondering, we're talking about an Instagram account. It's EKMALLE82. So if you don't follow him yet, please do go follow him, and you will see images of players you did not know were on cards. It's a really cool account. He's got some amazing stuff, and he's also a lunatic like us who hoards.
Yeah.
We find something we like, and we just sort of keep grabbing it. All right. So Jake, let's take a couple minutes and let's look at some recent eBay sales.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Jorge, we will try to we'll do I'll just say it. We'll do a three-way soon. We'll have Jeff and I, and I'll have another guest.
We'll do a what?
Yeah, you heard me.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so I want to go into a couple eBay sales that happened recently.
I love Jorge's cards. He's bring Jake to spitballing.
Oh yeah, and he did write Scotty would lose his mind, and I think he might. Yeah. All right, so here's the first eBay sale. One of the hottest players in baseball right now. Oh, that didn't sound right. It did.
Bryce Harper?
Is Bobby Witt Jr.
Oh, yeah.
So Bobby Witt Jr. has a rookie SSP that recently sold for bids. And Jake and I were both watching this card, and we were kind of talking to each other about it. And we were both, I think, surprised at where this card went.
Yeah. The image is great. It's like a model shot.
Yes, I like this picture a lot. There's a lot of Royals logos. The mullet is flowing beautifully.
I think that there's maybe a little bit of a tendency to dislike Update. I think Update, in terms of SSPs, it's like generally gets printed a lot more. So if you look historically about, Update SSPs, they usually veer off the theme of whatever's been doing, and they just print new rookies, new whatever. This card right here is, I
like it.
It's incredible. It's the foreground. You see the blurred foreground is like that's, and it just focuses on him.
Yeah, this is nice. They kind of faded the background. The card looks great. And yeah, he's walking out to take a round of batting practice. He looks like a soldier walking to the front lines, ready to just mess some stuff up. This is a cool card. It is, like we said, his flagship SSP. The only thing about it that gives me hesitation is the pop, which is a little surprising. It's already at 85. 109 of these have been graded at PSA and 85 gems, it's a pretty good gem rate, which is fine. And you can actually, if you look at this card, you can see the right to left centering is...
Yeah, it's tough.
It's probably straddling that line between 9 and 10.
Straddling.
But this is a cool card, and it's one of his nicer rookie cards. Bobby Witt's got a ton of rookies, even though they absolutely screwed up his Topps Chrome situation.
Yeah.
This card is great. So if anyone would like to guess what this went for, I will tell you that in the offseason, Jake sent me a listing where a guy was selling one of these for, I think it was $450 was his asking price.
It was like $400 or like it was like, and I messaged, I think, basically everybody. I was like, please buy this, because I wasn't buying. I have a PSA 9 of this, but I was like telling everybody, I was like, please buy this.
Yeah,
such a good price. So
right. We didn't, and I kind of wish we had, because this one, I don't know. Jake, any guesses in the comments?
What do we got? Actually, you know what? Let's let them guess in the comments, and let's move on to the next card and ask.
Ooh, okay. All right. Hold on.
Let's see the consensus in the Bobby Witt SSP guesses, and let's move to the next sale.
All right. Let's stick.
We need to give them a few minutes.
Okay, we'll stick with the SSP theme. This one sold about 10 days ago.
Okay, my favorite card. Yes.
Yeah, this is Jake's favorite card, and it's a really cool image. They also, same thing, they blurred the back. Aaron Judge really pops here.
That jawline.
Yeah, I mean, he's better looking with his mouth shut. We can talk about that later. But this is a really cool image.
I'm pretty sure Megan told you that back in the day as well.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. She always tells me, smile with your mouth closed. And then,
So we got
this is a really cool card.
In the chat, put the price in the card, though, because I feel like let's give people to a second to realize. Yeah. So we've got Alvin said $750. I think he means that.
Yeah, we're talking about the Witt still. $550 for the Witt, $750 for the Witt.
$550.
Yeah, I would say Alvin guessed $750, which is right. That's pretty much right where I thought that Bobby Witt was going to end. I really thought, $750 is about right. He's doing well. This is going to. I'm going to go back to the Witt. Yeah, he's doing well. This card is going to take a little bit of a bump. Well, this card took a massive bump. Bobby Witt is off to a pretty spectacular start, and this baby crossed $1,000.
Good for him. Good for Bobby Witt. Honestly, that's like when Julio's SSP, they were going raw for $1,000+.
Yeah, the Julio Ichiro one.
Yeah.
So this, if you have a Bobby Witt card, and you're thinking, what do I do with it? Do I sell it? Do I hold it? I mean,
you got to hold it, I think.
Prices like this, I mean, if I had this card, I would probably sell it for $1,000 right now and then try to rebuy it in the offseason. But I don't know. Maybe he keeps this going. I predicted, was it 2 weeks ago? He was my dark horse MVP candidate.
How old is he? What, 24?
I don't know.
He's got 15 years left in the league.
I mean, that's a lot of assumptions. Yes, he could have 15 years left in the league. And he signed an extension. So he'll be in Kansas City. And if Kansas City's good, that market is great. Those fans they will show up and support a good team. And they've got him. They've got Cole Reagans. They got a couple young guys coming up. There's potential there. They already did the right thing and got Will Smith out of the closer job.
Sal Perez is hitting.
What?
Sal Perez is hitting.
God, Sal Perez, man. You might have the thickest legs of anyone in Major League Baseball.
Sal Perez?
Yeah.
Bit more than Spencer Strider's?
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
No, Strider's stronger, but Sal Perez. Anyway, this is a separate conversation. All right. Back to Aaron Judge. So, Aaron Judge.
Let's remind everybody, this is a raw card. And
yes.
If you could zoom in on this, on the edges here,
it's not going to gem. We'll just summarize, and we'll say this card is not going to be a PSA 10. If you bought this and graded it, you're looking at an 8. I would think you buy it. And I think that's what I was looking at it. I was thinking you buy it as an 8. Jake, what would you agree? Disagree with that?
8. 100%.
Yeah.
I thought it's weird how they grade these cards now versus when they did back in 2017. Obviously, when he was in PSA, I think, and all these grading companies do this, that when these players are irrelevant, they don't look at them as harshly, I don't think. If you were to submit this card again, and this is why I say this, because this card has been in a PSA 10 at Pop 11 for 2 years now. But they really scrutinize anything that's now valued over this much. So if you had subbed this back in 2018 or 2019, you had a chance at a 9. I don't think you have a chance, even a remote chance at a 9 now.
I agree. I think you're more likely it gets a 7 than a 9. But I think an 8, and it's a solid. It looks like a solid 8 to me, barring any sort of surface issues we can't see.
Right.
So Jeff and I, full disclosure, Jeff and I looked at this card and we talked about throwing a bid on it just to have it, because, like I said before, we have no Aaron Judge cards between us.
It's an important card. It's an important card.
Yeah.
As I like to say.
As an SSP collector, like this would be a great card to have, great card to post on the next SSP Thursday. So we figured it would go for around $1,000. That was sort of the ballpark we were considering bidding in. And if anyone would like to guess where this Aaron Judge card went, it sold about, I want to say it was like a week ago, maybe 10 days ago.
Yeah, close. Maybe 7 to 10 days.
Okay, while people are thinking about the price for this card, we're fine, just act normal. Love the name. Asks, and I'm happy to discuss this. Acuna has two rookie SSPs in update: a vertical batting wearing a white jersey, it's kind of a cream jersey, and then a horizontal wearing the same jersey, carrying his glove, going back to the dugout. The vertical, the pops are, but the print runs the same. The pops are very similar, although I think the horizontal is lower. But the vertical outsells it almost by 2 times.
Yeah.
And we're fine, just act normal says why. And the answer is simple: the image. People love that batting image.
It's the best image of any SSP I've ever seen. It's just like, for some reason, it's like, he's a rookie. It's just, I'm not an Acuna collector. Like, I have a couple of cards, but that card, and if you ever press me to rank my top 10 SSPs, like it's
up there.
I think it's the best in my opinion. I do. I think it's the best image.
Yeah, I like them both. But yeah, the hobby just basically, it's one of those instances where the image is so cool, the card demands. The rarity isn't enough. The image is really jacking the price up.
Sorry, before you end this,
go.
I want to pose a question to the chat.
Oh, there we go.
So Acuna's first SSP or first variation came in 2018 Series 2, the bat down. Now I want to let the chat guess what the combined pop is between PSA and BGS. Okay.
Okay. All right, so I was gonna say, I'll also let you know a little secret. There are a lot of these are mislabeled, and so the number, if you look at the 2018 PSA pop report and you look at where it says bat down, you have to add at least 100 to it, if not more, because there are a lot that aren't labeled correctly.
I just want to see
eBay for sale now, actually.
Yeah. Anyways,
okay, so back to this Judge. Yeah, we'll see what people say about the pops, and then we'll tell them the truth.
Yeah.
So basically, what they're looking at, 1,200 to 1,600 seems to be the sort of the consensus where we're at. Let's take a look. 1,125. So I mean, I'd say that's to me that seems about right. For a card that raw, that seemed about right. What do you think, Jake, as a holder of this card?
I think that seems like, especially considering the edges, I think that seems like a lot. Like, having watched like the card we were just talking about, the Acuna white jersey at bat, I don't think even that card in raw goes for this much, right?
Yeah, it does.
It does.
It does. Yeah.
But I mean, who am I to say? Obviously, I'm biased. I think there was a lot. I do think it was a lot for this guy. I think raw. But again, a PSA 9 sold for like 2,500.
Yeah. So then this makes perfect sense then. And
then Eric Ekmalet, 82, got the BGS 9.5 for like basically a steal. It was like a fake. I don't know what you call this, but it's like a fake true gem where they give a 9 on centering.
A min gem, we would call it. Yeah.
Yeah, we call it a min gem, but I mean, like, if they put a 9 on centering, it's not like, especially on a 2017 card, a 2018 card, nobody, like, I'd call it a min gem would be obviously what we're just saying, but if they put a 9 on corners and 9.5s everywhere else, I'd call it a min gem. I wouldn't call it a min gem if they put 9 on centering.
Okay, fair enough.
Like that doesn't. Anyways, I think Eric got one for like $2,500, which is just an insane steal. Somebody just listed a BGS 9.5 min gem for $5,000, and I bet somebody buys it for within $1,000 of that.
Well, we'll see. Yeah, I mean, some of those min gems, though. I mean, if you look at especially we'll talk about like 2018 Sotos with the blacks in the Independence days. Those min gems are bad.
Yeah,
they all have a 9 on corners. There's all a corner that looks horrific, and they're probably all PSA 8s. So that's why PSA 9, I like it a lot.
Imagine a Soto or Acuna with a min gem with a 9 on centering on one of those.
I gobble that thing up, crack it.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. That's exact. Like, it's a fake. That's why I'm calling it a fake min gem.
Hold on, real quick. Jorge says, "Great idea. Is you should come back on, and we'll do a 3-way draft of the top 5 SSPs." I love that idea.
I think we'd have to have a round table though. We know a lot of good SSP collectors.
Oh yeah. We might have to have Eric on here as well.
Pat.
Okay, Alvin says, "Question for Jake: Did 2019 Freddie Stadium Club make it in? I want to see that thing. Sorry if I leaked." I don't know what leaked.
Sorry, Alvin. All right, Chris, I didn't want to tell you this, but a 2019 Stadium Club SP variation Freddie surfaced maybe 3 days ago for $11.99, and I bought it. And I was
You should have bought it. That's okay.
But I was excited to show you it. I didn't know if it was the 5x7 or not. Like I was expecting it to be the 5. I was like, there's no way that I'm gonna get this for $12.
Yeah, at that price, right?
It's like I'm like, there's no fucking way. This card is so rare. And he hasn't shipped it still. So it's been like 6-7 days. So that's why I didn't bring it up.
Okay. All right. No, I'm not mad. I mean, that's a great buy. Good for you, you piece of shit. All right. So there's one more eBay thing I want to look at, and then we're gonna call this, and I'm gonna drive over.
Sorry, yeah. I appreciate everybody who's staying with us. You know, I'm sorry I'm not as formal as Jeff and Chris, but
you're doing a great job. All right. So Bryce Harper got off to a cold start. He's basically had one huge game, and then he has just sort of existed for the rest of the season. Now, arguably his best card came up for sale, and it was listed at a pretty high price and sold.
This is the penultimate. This is the biggest.
Yeah, this card is pretty special. So we're gonna pull this one up. So
Ben Orr, I want. We should have like a 60 minutes segment where Ben Orr just talks about this card.
Well, we're not going to talk about it for 60 minutes because it's already posted.
About the show though. Like I'm Barbara Walters.
Okay. So yeah, this is Bryce Harper's Topps Chrome Super Short Prints in a refractor. Now we don't know how many of these cards were made. Probably around 10, maybe 20. Super, super rare. Just like he has non-refractors as well. There are no 10s of any of them. So this, you could make an argument. This is Bryce Harper's.
Say it.
Best non. It's his best rookie card. This is his best rookie card. I would take this or the non-refractor. Either one is his best rookie card. It's just really cool. They're super rare. They're basically like sort of ghosts in the hobby that people talk about but rarely ever see.
And there's no real understanding, right, of how they came to be or like what they are ghosts, like literally ghosts, as Chris just said.
Yeah. Yeah, this card's awesome. So it was up for the asking was like $11,000. I couldn't believe what I was even looking at. It's just really exciting to see the card. And it's sold recently, and it's a tough card to comp. I think there's 4 total at PSA, and I think there's 8 or 9 of the non-refractor at PSA. So I mean, you just never see this card. If you like Bryce Harper, you're a Phillies fan, or you're a potential Hall of Fame collector, this guy's going to end up there.
You think so?
Oh yeah. I mean, I feel like you got to have it. So I mean, Jeff and I talked about it, but again, we just didn't have access to $9,000 or whatever to buy it. But this is one of those cards when it pops up for sale, like the hobby, there's a mumble about it. There's a murmur that goes through Instagram. Everyone's sharing it, and it's a big deal. The card's really cool. You can see how gritty and dirty. It's just this card is great.
I mean, Chris, that story about Jason Dominguez rippling through the Burbank, that I think I didn't hear that one before. That one is like one of my favorite stories of all time.
Yeah. Anyway, this card did sell. I won't bore. We're running a little bit late, and my chicken chunks are just about ready. Do they want to guess? This guy accepted an offer. Anyone want to throw a number out there? What they think it might have gone for? And also, I'm just sure. Anyway, Jorge got it. It sold for $9,000.
Bullshit. He saw the 130 point. Jorge,
of course he did. But I think this is great. I'm looking forward, actually, Jake, and you probably are too, of seeing who bought this when it shows up on Instagram. I look forward to seeing it.
We won't display names right now. We'll talk about it privately, but I think we can guess a few people.
My first guess didn't buy it. I thought it was him, and he didn't.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I know who your first guess was.
Yeah.
I think I know the second guess who would be, but we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's not throw names around. We'll
throw names around, but guess what? Tune in to next week's Blabbin Bout Slabbin if you want to see this card.
Yeah. Oh, Jorge said he didn't know if we were asking, guessing, but yeah, it sold for $9K. That was the offer that was accepted, and I think
that's so much money for just a refractor chrome card of Bryce Harper. Think about that.
Yeah, but you have to understand what it is. It's not just a refractor. It's not a base refractor. This is his rarest, coolest rookie card.
That's incredible to me. I love it. That's obviously why I collect these things. I love it.
Yeah, it's weird to say that a baseball card is cool, but this card is cool. We aren't, but that card is cool.
Yeah. Anyways.
But all right. If you stuck with us for this long, thank you very much.
2 hours. See, I knew it would go by like water.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's work on your metaphors. But
water.
Yeah.
Right,
Jake, you did really well. I think it's 6 F-bombs. That's not bad for your first YouTube. It's not bad at all. You didn't say anything that's going to get me canceled. Or
Chris, we didn't even get to half the stuff we talked about. So, and that's what happens when you and I talk. And obviously, this is why I watch you guys every week. And everybody tune in to Blabbin Bout Slabbin. Yeah. This is why we're nerds. Anyways, thanks.
Thank you guys. Thank everyone for joining us. We like to say, Jamie reminded me.
Jake Christian for your first time. Oh,
you did great. But yeah, over the weekend, I said it before. I'll keep saying it. Please call your parents. Check in with them. See how they're doing.
Yeah.
Jake is coming back. It's a lock. I mean, we'll see. There'll be some discussions. We'll analyze the footage. We'll see we'll have to check the metrics and see what the advanced analytics say about the performance.
The saber metrics.
Yeah, we'll have to.
How many engagements? We did it, Megan. We did it. We did it.
All right. On that note, everyone, thank you very much for joining us. Have a great night. Have a good weekend. Enjoy watching baseball.
All right. Bye, folks.